Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's Norup International MYP Band Concert. We're really excited to have you in attendance. Our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students have worked very hard tonight in preparation for the program. Due to that, we ask that you please keep all cell phone and other electronic devices turned off, and please refrain from any flash photography as it's quite distracting to our performers on the stage. We're very fortunate that the Berkley School District records our performances and will post them on their YouTube channel, so don't feel like you're missing out if you're not able to record on your own. We got you covered. It's all good. The group seated in front of you right now is the Norup International 6th grade band. These students have done a great job this year preparing and growing and developing as musicians. Last year they met twice as 5th graders on 2 days of the week in the morning, and this was the first year that they've been able to meet for band every single day of the week. The improvement that can occur with that type of teacher-student time is really significant. Also, these students are some of the most dedicated, where I've seen instruments going home on Fridays, coming back on Mondays, and also going home during the week. It's quite fantastic. I'm excited to introduce you to the Norup International 6th grade band. The piece you just heard was a medley of 2 different Latin tunes put together by Mr. Michael Sweeney. So that was called Latin Fiesta. It gave our students the opportunity to play pretty forcefully and intense with a lot of accents. Our next piece is a little bit more relaxed. It lets you just give a chance to think about life, sit on your lily pad, and just ponder. We hope you enjoy the Rainbow Connection. All right, and our last piece tonight is one entitled Rock to the Max, Mr. Sax. And I'd like to introduce you to our only alto, only any kind of saxophonist in the 6th grade band. This is Mr. Drew. And Drew is going to do a great job tonight. The group you see on the stage in front of you is the Norup 7th grade band. And before we start their portion of the program, we have a special chamber ensemble that we'd like to highlight. This year, all the students worked on creating chamber music. So those could be solos, duets, trios, all the way up to a quintet. We're some of our largest groups this year with just 5 musicians. The music written for these groups is different than a band piece of music because it highlights each individualist. Everyone's a soloist at this point. Because of this, you get some really good tone colors. Everyone gets a little bit more of an exciting role in the piece. And I want to introduce you now to our Norup International 8th grade woodwind quintet. They will be playing the Old French Dance. All right, on stage in front of you is the Norup International 7th grade band. We're really excited to perform a variety of music for you tonight. We're going to begin with a piece called African Festival. Our next piece could use a really good introduction, but we won't give you one. This is the Kitchen Can-Can. some fun. Excuse me. We had some fun with classics on that one, and we played you anything from the Can to Hello Mutta, Hello Fada, and we really hope that you enjoyed the quirkiness of the Kitchen Can. Our last piece for you is a pop tune, a little more recent than anything you've heard so far tonight. This is Beyonce's "Crazy in Love." All right, seated in front of you is Norup International's 8th grade band. This group has had the privilege of, well, not privilege, but just the reality of being the largest group that's made its way through the band the last 3 years at Norup. It's quite a sizable class. Norup is just packed corner to corner. And while we're sorry to see them go off to BHS, we're excited for a little bit of elbow room once they move that way. But they've done a really great job. They came in as just a massive group with energy in 6th grade and kept working. Last year they went to District Festival and earned a Division II rating, which is an excellent. This year when they went to District Festival, they really put in the extra work. We played some challenging literature, and they earned a superior rating, a Division I. So congratulations to that group. So we're really excited to start off tonight's program with something on the classical side. Please enjoy Hector Berlioz's March to the Scaffold. So we realized kind of quickly during this concert cycle that the 8th grade was going in a bit of a dark direction. March to the Scaffold was a piece from Berlioz' Symphonie Fantastique. And it's an uplifting story about somebody climbing stairs. Then it goes down a little bit from there, and you could hear the downward bump, 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 plop into the basket. Then our next tune is another one that the program notes say is a happy ending. We tend to disagree based on the tonality of the final chord, but you can make up your own mind. This is the Greek myth of Perseus, and you can hear him fighting a sea monster. You'll hear a couple of important musical history keys in there, one being a Gregorian chant that's a funeral dirge. So you've probably heard it in many different movies. It's usually spooky, usually involving death. So we hope that you have an interesting thought during Perseus and the Sea Monster. So upon realizing our tendency toward the spooky and mysterious, we decided to go for Coldplay, and we just totally changed it up. So we hope you enjoy this pop rock tune, Clocks. Now, we have one more tune that's not listed in the program. These guys being the hard workers that I mentioned earlier. Actually took a piece that we were kind of playing around with. I'd heard it in the winter and showed it to them and had them try it out, and they really liked it. And we decided to work it up over the last couple of weeks. So we have one more for you. Right before we get to that, though, there's an annual tradition here at Norup that one or two or a few exiting seniors, or eighth graders, will receive an award. These are students who are being recognized because of their musicianship. In order to be considered for an Outstanding Musician Award for the Norup 8th grade band, I look for students who work hard in class, become leaders amongst their peers musically, demonstrate an example of tone, technique, intonation, rhythm, and interpretation, those big 5 categories that we strive for in our evaluations. And I also look at outside participation in music organizations. So our musicians tonight who qualified are participants in Michigan State Band Orchestra Association's all-state ensembles 2 years in a row, and the Detroit Metropolitan Youth Symphony for, I believe, his 2nd year. So please help me in recognizing Mr. Russell Calhoun and Elliot Perkins as this year's outstanding musicians. Congratulations. Way to go. Good work. All right. And now, to conclude our concert, I would just like to say thank you to the Berkley schools community that's here. We have a lot of administrators, central office staff tends to drop by, other supportive colleagues. Thank you to parents, family, and friends for coming to tonight's concert. This is a pretty well-packed house. I'm excited to see that from the stage. And a big thank you for our student musicians on stage. It is not easy to be in band. It takes a lot of work in the classroom. It takes a lot of work outside of the classroom. These are your musical athletes, okay? If they don't strength train, they don't sound good, okay? And we can't have LeBron James carrying our program one concert at a time. It just doesn't happen that way. So we're really excited to have these students work so hard. And as you noticed tonight, for a solid majority of our concert, all of our bands have been outstanding in the audience. They've been demonstrating those skills that we do have to teach. They don't come naturally to human beings, especially middle schoolers. So it takes a lot of work on behalf of the students, and I'm very, very proud of them, and I hope to see them all continue. So thank you so much. This is Drive.